Hello everyone, and welcome to my day 6 video of an 8-day backpacking trip to the Dolly Sods Wilderness and Roaring Plains Wilderness in Monongahela National Forest of West Virginia. On this day, the skies were quite dramatic, low clouds, moderate wind, and amazing autumn colors. I followed Raven Ridge to the Beaver View Trail, onto Dobbins Grade, then Upper Red Creek Trail, and finally the Red Creek Trail to the Forks where I set up camp. Hope you enjoy the video. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, October something, 14th. I don't know. It's let's see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's Thursday, and this is going to be my wet day. It did rain overnight, and I was fine. The tarp did a great job. The tent did a great job. Completely dry, and I just had some coffee. And now I'm gonna have some breakfast from Packet Gourmet. It's my first time trying their products. It is the West Memphis Grits Souffle, creamy grits with green chilies, shallots, and cheddar jack cheese. So that'll be ready in 10 minutes. I'm gonna slowly pack up, be very methodical. I'm gonna line my pack with a heavy duty garbage liner because it's quite possible it's going to rain while I'm hiking. But I'm doing fine. The trip's going good. Covered a lot of ground yesterday, resupplied, and it's time to pack up. It's going to be a little later start than normal, but that's okay, and I'm fine with that. Hope you're all doing well. All right, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday. It's about 10:20. I started about 10 o'clock, which is a little bit later than normal, but that's okay. Doesn't bother me one bit. I'm on Raven Ridge Trail heading towards the Beaver View Trail. Obviously, it's overcast. Chance of rain is definitely a possibility. It's about 55, 56 degrees. Winds blowing 10 to 20. And yeah, it's great. So I'm heading to Beaver View Trail, Dobbins Grade Trail, Upper Red Creek Trail, and then on to Red Creek Trail. And I may stop at the Forks for the day, depends on the weather, or I may continue on Red Creek Trail down to where it meets the Fisher Run Trail and spend the night there. And that'll put me in good shape. All right, bye. Good morning again. I am on the Beaver View Trail. I'm starting to descend down towards Dobbins Grade. And it is windy, but I'm in a little bit of a protected area. I apologize if there's some wind noise. I don't have my fancy microphone attached with a noise reduction, which I am going to start doing though. But yeah, it's a beautiful trail. And the colors between the red spruce and the blueberries, the oaks and the maples, just spectacular. I am gonna take a break and take a layer off because it's actually quite mild. And I think there's a cold front moving in tonight. Isn't this trail beautiful? And the weather adds to the wilderness experience, that's for dang sure. All right, I'm gonna take a break right up here. And I have no water, but I'm not worried about it. All right, still a good morning. It's about 11:30, 11:40, Thursday, and doing well. It's overcast and breezy, but not cold. And I just reached the section of Beaver View Trail and Dobbins Grade Trail. Beaver View Trail is one of my favorites. It's pretty much all meadow. And the colors, the views of Rocky Knob, just off the charts. It's very easy and it's not that muddy. But Dobbins Grade, I'm heading this way for about, I don't know, a mile. I'm going to pick up Upper Creek Trail to Red Creek Trail and head to the Forks and evaluate from there. But Dobbins Grade, I'm on the western half of it. It's a little more firmer. The further east you go, it gets muddier and muddier and wetter, and you can sink up to your knees. There's a lot of beaver activity in Dolly Sods, especially along Dobbins Grade. But that way takes you to Rocky Ridge, where I was yesterday, and the autumn foliage is just spectacular. And just a quick note, I do have my external microphone hooked up. That's a mental note for me to pay attention to the audio quality. I have the noise reduction on. But yeah, time to hike on, and I need to get some water. Dobbins Grade, and I apologize if there's some wind, background noise. I don't have my external microphone. But yeah, wide open and wet and wild. Upper Red Creek Trail. I came from that direction. I'm heading towards Red Creek and the Forks. Light rain. I'm probably gonna set up camp at the Forks because I don't think my luck staying dry is gonna last much longer. All right. All right, good afternoon. I am at the intersection of Red Creek Trail and Blackbird Knob Trail. I'm gonna take Red Creek down to the Forks, which is a mile and a half, 2 miles, and I'm probably gonna call it a day. And I always take a break at that rock. I've done this several times, and every single time except for today, I've seen white-tailed deer just running very close by. Anyway, I wanna tell you something that happened to me about half hour ago on the final eighth of a mile of Upper Red Creek. I'm hiking along, there's a lot of mud, and in an instant, my left leg slipped forward on mud, causing me to fall on my back and my butt. It was quite uncomfortable. I felt excruciating pain in my left hip. I'm pretty sure I came very close to hyperextending my left hip. And if I had hyperextended it, I'd be screwed, big time. So you got to be careful. The trails in Dolly Sods are very muddy. 3 years ago, I was on the Blackbird Knob Trail, first mile of a multi-day hike. Slipped on some mud, landed my rib cage, left side of my body, on a boulder, and I cracked a couple of ribs. I continued on for 3 more days, but it was supposed to be a 5-day trip, and I cut it back to 3. I just took some leave, and I'm all out of water, and that's okay because there's water coming up. I'm not worried about it. But I had a half a boat of Chardonnay, so I took some Chardonnay and a leave, and I'm gonna get to the forks. I'm gonna find the driest campsite I can and set up my tarp and just chill for the rest of the day. The rain has held off. It's got some light sprinkles. I did hear some thunder when I was in Dobbins grade. And yeah, it's been a great trip. And I got maybe 2 more days and I'm done. After today, possibly 1.5. Anyway, just be careful when you're hiking because, 1 minute, everything's great. The next minute, you're being evac'd by a helicopter, which I don't want. All right. Peace out. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. Thursday. Light rain falling and occasional sunlight. Seems like the temperature is starting to drop. This is the left fork of Red Creek. It meets Red Creek about 50 yards over there. There's all kinds of interesting campsites, some of them good, some of them not good. And the only way I'm going to cross that creek is in my Teva, not my Tevas, my Crocs. But I got my gear under a spruce and I scratched out where I might set up my tent. Just trying to figure out a decent tarp setup, either over my tent or just adjacent where I have kind of like a living area. So I'm mulling it over and I'll be back later. Ciao. Red Creek, Thursday, almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm at the Forks, one of my favorite places in Dolly Sods. And yeah, it's just a great spot. Overcast, cool, it's about 50 degrees, maybe 49 now. But I got my tent set up. I'm hoping it doesn't rain. My tent will handle it. It makes it more challenging. I don't like being cooped up in my tent if I don't have to. Anyway, peace out. Cinematic mode. Red Creek, left fork of Red Creek. That's why they call it the Forks, where the 2 creeks meet. October in Dolly Sods Wilderness. Doesn't get much better than this. I'm on day 6. Probably finish up Saturday, so I got 2 more days. Small waterfalls, very small, 2.5 feet, but still pretty. where the forks meet. Red Creek proper, left fork right there. Ridiculous fire pit. Ridiculous. Nasty. I've camped right in this very spot where I'm standing. It's a great spot, especially when dry, warm weather. Looking down Red Creek. Yeah. What can I say? Dolly Sods is very special. I will say one thing. I've been out 6 days. And I've seen 3 or 4 parties that are bigger than 10 people. And that's against the regulations. And not my cup of tea. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a solitary backpacker. I make no excuses. The breeze is picking up. I think there's a cold front moving in. But I'm having a great time. And I just want to stay warm and dry tonight. That's all I want to do. Alright, back to my camp. Alright, right down past that fire pit is Red Creek. I'll give you a little tour of my campsite. I've seen that creek, that fire pit, basically underwater back in 2018 when it rained 7 inches in 3 days, and I was out here for 5 days. It was a tough trip, one of the toughest trips I've ever done. But it's a little after 4, Thursday. We got 1, most likely 2 more days. I got my tent set up. I didn't set up my tarp because it just wasn't tarp friendly. But found a good spot for my tent. Dry and soft and a little bit sheltered by red spruce trees. So here it is. I'm camped on the left fork, which is right over there. I gathered some water. Use my SteriPen to sterilize it, treat it with a pre-filter to get all the particulates. But here's my stuff. Big A, love Big A. Inside my tent. Vestibule works great. There's my heel nuts. And I'm just gonna take it easy. Have some dinner. Camping at the forks. Camping on left fork of Red Creek. Red Creek is to my left. And it looks like the weather is improving. The temperature's gonna drop. I'm ready for it. Tomorrow is my last big full day. And wow, what a great trip. I'm very grateful.